Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for your place for that boom knowledge. Roundedtiktak here, and we're bringing you a new build that I've been playing around with that is quickly becoming my favorite build. I played almost every game because it's just a lot of fun to do, but we're gonna break it down for you in another best hero loadout video, bringing it to you guys right now. However, let's talk about the ninja video that I promised you. There's a couple of bugs about ninjas right now, a few things specifically with Dragon Slash that we are still testing. So this is something that I actually am enjoying a lot of, and I wanted to do a whole video like my normal style and break it down to you guys and tell you why. So let's get into this build. It's almost as if Striker AC is back and it's just a different ability now. They have changed Seismic Smash so much that it's actually a pretty decent ability and can be used as an AoE clearing tool, a somewhat decent single target damage tool, and it's on a super short cooldown and is just a lot of fun to use. It really reminds me of using it on like a Striker AC. It's a completely different ability, but I just enjoy using it. So what's the build? Well, let's get right into it. This is the Seismic Smash. So there are three characters you might think of when you're talking about a Seismic Smash build. Number one is going to be Ragnarok. The other one will be Vanguard Southie, and the last one is going to be Anthony. All of them are going to be in your build anyway. However, Anthony you might want to take out depending on your playstyle. Now let's talk about which one is the best to use. Let's see what they do individually. Ragnarok does a returns to its origin point, increases Seismic Smash damage and impact by 125%. If we take a look at Vanguard Southie, he does decreases Seismic Smash cooldown by 67%. And lastly, Anthony, 4 on the floor, does a Seismic Smash, leaves a pulsing zone with a 0.75 tile radius at the end of the range, deals 248 base damage. Of course, that scales over 4 seconds and bounces husks inside. Now, believe it or not, there is a best character here. And let me tell you guys right now that any character in the game with cooldown on their main commander perk, so for this example, Vanguard Southie, is going to be top tier. So A to S, like, probably better than most. And I'm going to show you why that is, like, right now. So he reduces the cooldown by 67%. If you use this build that you see right here with Ragnarok, the cooldown on his smash is 12 seconds long. However, if you were to switch up the build and simply change Vanguard Southie instead of Ragnarok, and then put Ragnarok back in here for his bonus damage, which again is something that we need to talk about anyway. If you do this build instead, it is a 5-second cooldown on Seismic Smash. Now it becomes a question of what does damage more consistently and at enough damage to kill most things. This is not a single target damage build. I mean, it does decent damage, but it's nothing crazy. It's not like a Dragon Slash or anything like that. But it is on a 5-second cooldown, which is very important and the basis of this build. So let me show you guys a little footage and we'll talk about it right now before we finish up the build. Let's talk about cooldown versus damage. This is very important in this build and it's the basis of my entire argument. So let's talk about it for just a second. It's almost like a magazine size versus reload speed argument. Similar, not exactly the same. Ragnarok, as you guys can tell by his commander perk, Seismic Smash hits harder. His hits for about 72,000 damage per instance, and it hits twice. Vanguard Southie, on the other hand, only hits for about 42,000, and it hits twice. So if we add those up, we have a total of 144,000 damage per button press for Ragnarok, and 86,000 damage for Vanguard Southie. But the real question then becomes, how many times can you use the ability and how much damage can you get off? Well, the Ragnarok cooldown is 12 seconds and Vanguard Southie is 5. So that means you can do 2 instances of Shockwave by the time it takes Ragnarok to do 1. And if we add up those numbers together, we are sitting at a beautiful 172,000 damage for Vanguard Southie versus 144,000 for Ragnarok. Now these numbers are pretty close, they are, I agree with that, but technically if we're talking min-maxing here, Vanguard Southie is the way to go. And you're gonna find that a lot of these builds are so similar. Epic did a really good job of not making anything overpowered. So for this case, we're gonna use Vanguard Southie because he has 30,000 damage above Ragnarok if we're talking DPS. We have one more problem to tackle before we get into the actual build, and I'm gonna just talk about it real quick. This is not a single target damage, how fast can you kill a smasher build. This is the equivalent to an Outlander having Dragon Slash. The damage is more than enough on this character, on Vanguard Southie, because that would be an issue. If it couldn't do what it does, it would be an issue. If it didn't have enough damage to kill the small things, then Ragnarok would have a better chance of being a better character. But Vanguard Southie's damage on his Seismic Slam is more than enough to kill basically everything. It hits twice, it has a knockback, it has a knock up, it does a lot of damage, it has a small AoE at the end. It's really more than enough. The only issue it becomes, but this is with any character you play this on, is the Seismic Slam at the end, the little musical thing, does explode propanes, which is most likely a bug. So like I said, if Ragnarok was able to kill all those small things and all the way up to Husky Husks, maybe Elemental Husky Husks will not die to his Seismic Slam, Vanguard Southies, but it should, or they should be low enough to where you can finish them. You guys will see it plenty of times in the footage. It's such a fun build. Having a huge AoE on a 5-second cooldown is a blast. It's just a lot of fun to use. This is why I wanted to bring you guys this video. So show you guys some footage. Let's talk about the build and why we chose the perks we did. So I feel like I covered what this does and why it's so good. So let's move right into the team perk. You can use Ragnarok if you want. You can use Anthony if you want, but DPS wise, nothing's going to beat this. The team perk is an option. There's many things that you can do here. There's a ton of things, but for the build that we're doing right now, Bioenergy Source is your go-to, and I'm going to show you why. Number one, you're going to be really close up to the husks for most of it, and this allows a lot more survivability. If you want, you can use Preemptive Strike to hit harder, but since it's kind of a dot damage ability, this isn't the best. Bioenergy Source also works with one of the support team perks that we are going to choose. You could use Phase Blaster, zig in and out every 5 seconds to get the thing. Long Arm of the Law works as well. Slow Your Roll is decent. There's a lot of things you can do here, but for this build in particular, we're going with Bioenergy Source. First up, in the support team, we have Ragnarok. Seismic Smash returns to its origin point, decreasing Seismic Smash damage and impact by 25%. 25% of 2 damage ticks is still more than 1 damage tick of plus 25%. It's definitely worth it to use. Plus, there's definitely some sort of buggy glitch where it hits way more than 2 times. It's definitely one of the perks you want to pick. Ragnarok is going to be our first slot. 4 on the floor, this is up to you. Like I said, it's probably a bug, but the energy blast radius at the end of Seismic Smash is blowing up propanes. It hits for about 4,000 damage per tick, ticks for 4 seconds. It's a lot of fun to use. It knocks them up. It creates some CC. I like it. It's worth the problems with the propanes for me, and it will not blow up propanes if that last part doesn't hit them. So as long as they're just in the general line, you are good to go. We're gonna save this perk for the end, and then I decided to perk up his Shock Tower. Now, you can change this if you want, but I felt this was the best way to go. Increase Shock Tower damage by 33%, which is self-explanatory. That's all you gotta do. And Static Cling. Shock Tower applies Affliction, which deals 50% damage per second for 3 seconds. His Shock Tower hits decently hard with this build. It's not the best in the world, but it's not terrible. It kills all the small things, even if they're elemental, and it causes an affliction tick, which combined with 4 on the floor is a lot of damage over time. Now let's talk about the meat and potatoes of the build, and that is Fuel for the Fallen. The issue that this perk solves is pretty interesting. Normally, you would have to put decrease Seismic Smash energy cost by 38%. But that's only for one ability. That's only for Seismic Smash. With this and Bioenergy Source, you no longer have to do that. Eliminations restore 6 energy over 3 seconds. Duration refreshes with additional eliminations. Your Seismic Smash will kill basically everything that it hits with, allowing you a ton of energy. And then if we take a look at Bioenergy Source, shield equal to 0.25 energy lost. That tooltip, by the way, is most likely incorrect. So with this providing you basically infinite energy for all of your abilities, not only for Seismic Smash, everything, and this creating shield for you at a huge rate, you basically have infinite energy and infinite shield, and you just absolutely decimate everything. No matter what's walking at you, you can figure out a way. If you're about to die, you can phase shift with Bioenergy Source and get 58,000 shield per phase shift. If you run out of energy, just turn around and hit them with a rocket launcher. Turn around and hit them with another Seismic Smash, and you are back to max energy instantaneously. Well, in 3 seconds. It's a really fun build to try out, guys. If you have this character, if you like Outlanders and are kind of pissed they got nerfed into the ground, maybe try out this build. It's very similar. It feels very similar to Striker AC. Although it's a different ability, it doesn't do the exact same thing. The damage that it provides plus the CC, it's pretty similar. I really enjoy this build. This is what I've been running in most of my games, most of my streams. I just really like having a 5-second one-shot build. Lastly, if you don't want to use Up the Voltage and Static Cling, that's fine. You can use anything here. Anything. It doesn't matter. Iron Knuckles, Icy Shot, whatever you would like. In fact, doing 2 pistol perks here and maybe changing Bio's energy source to Phase Blaster, that might be a build too that you could try out if that's more your playstyle. I just like being able to drop tower and use Seismic Smash every 15 and 5 seconds and clear out every little thing in the game. This is my favorite build as of right now. And there you go, guys. Some more boom knowledge for you. Checking out Vanguard Southie. Broke him down, told you why he's good, what he does, and everything in between. If you guys like this kind of content, please come over to the Twitch stream, twitch.tv/Roundedtiktak. You can ask me questions there live. If you're new to the channel, I do videos like this and other breakdowns weekly. I'm doing so many videos right now, it's pretty nuts. So please subscribe if you're new, hit that like button. It helps out the channel a lot. If you guys want to support the channel, that's how you do it. Thank you guys so much. The Ninja build is coming soon, I promise. If you guys want to join the Discord, that is in the description below. I'll see you guys on the next one. TikTak out. First person to come over to the stream today and says they heard this, 50 free Sunbeam.